frustration, I was waiting to shine. My father taught me don't be soft, so now I'm taking what's mine. I define myself as ambitious, young, black, and gifted. Master P, my masterpiece, that mean I don't got no limits. Bout it, I doubt it. My homies know you ain't ratted. We break you down like a pound. I got it, don't pound to surround me. I'm corrupted, flow cold and it's rugged, bumpy. What is up? I'm ready for war. You got to love it like blah, yeah. And it feel like, yeah. All day like, yeah. All night like, yeah. Whole squad like, what? And it feel like, yeah. All day like, yeah. All night like, what? Whole squad like, yeah. And it feel like, yeah. All day like, yeah. All night like, yeah. Whole squad like, yeah. And it feel like, yeah. All day like, yeah. All night like, yeah. You don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Ahead, we'll see the NFL's all-time passing leader, Drew Brees, and the New Orleans Saints as they match up with former MVP Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers. With that, let's get up to Charlotte. Standing by, our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the Carolinas and Bank of America Stadium here in Uptown Charlotte. Just a few moments ago, this building was shaking as the Carolina Panthers emerged from the tunnel here in Charlotte. They are ready to go as the Panthers are set to match up with Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talked about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. They're led out by their big-bodied electric quarterback, Cam Newton.
When I was watching film this week, I had to write a note to myself. 3 touchdown passes in an NFL game deserves respect, not ho-hum just because they throw it around all the time, and he got his respect. NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
Yeah, it's the ultimate vote of confidence from a week ago. Hey, look, he was great. Not his best game ever, but obviously was very good to garner that award. All the talk this week, though, was about let's take that forward now. Now Newton on first down. And he will find the open man. It's DJ Moore. And he'll be down deep into New Orleans territory. A big play there on the first play of the game. 58 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
A real field flipper there, as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone.
Watch the pass.
A first carry for Christian McCaffrey, who made his first Pro Bowl last year. He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3. Not quite the success they had last play. This one goes for 3 yards.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Christian McCaffrey with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Panthers take it right down and score on the opening drive. Final final week of the year, an absolute must-win game for them, so they needed to get on the board first. They were able to do just that.
And you laid out the stakes. So just think what they've been working with this entire build-up towards this game. Must win. You've got to get on the board first. They accomplished that. Now they can't have any type of a letdown. Long way to go in this one.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So here come the Saints now for their first drive. They'll be led out by their veteran quarterback, the former Purdue Boilermaker. It's Drew Brees.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
But that's the ratio you say you're okay with, right?
If you go 3 to 1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of the season. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly. But behind closed doors, he probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have had a perfect game.
So Brees going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their own 22. And look at this. They come right back with a big shot downfield. 23 yards, the final tally.
Come on, one thing for sure. You know that Michael Thomas is going to be the target on a 3rd down pass, and Drew Brees finds him and keeps this drive moving.
Now Brees lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
Well, that was a big oops right there. But how about his ability to correct it? Loses the football, able to get it back himself.
Yeah, pounced right back on it, keeps possession. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right. It's caught inside the 25. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. Well, make that now 2 completions for him on this drive, and these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other, and not in a good way. Oftentimes pointing fingers. Hey, who's got him? Someone cover him. That type of indecision can open up to even more big plays.
They had the huge play last time. Here it is a much smaller gain of 2.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Let's go.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Brees. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 15 yards on the play, 1st down.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed.
And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Alvin Kamara, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Saints are within an extra point of tying this thing up.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Lutz good on the extra point, and we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2.
3 bucks.
And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
So on fourth down, kicking it away here, Michael Pilardi. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And the magnitude of this game, everybody knows it. The fans, obviously, the players and coaches. There's just with them a palpable buzz right now. They know they control their own destiny.
Win, and you're in. And I think every player wants that. I think every coach wants that. I haven't been an organization yet that wants to be in a game where they have to rely on other teams to get them to their goals. In this situation, it's very cut and dry. Win, and you're in the playoffs. That's their mission, that's their challenge, and you know they've chosen to accept it.
And what they told us is this has been the most focused week of practice we've had all year. You wouldn't expect any different.
Yeah, and you know, at the beginning of the season, you have multiple goals. They just have one now, win the game.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Shotgun now for Breeze. Open man is Michael Thomas. A big 30-yard play on third.
Now that one hurts defensively. They force them into third and long, have the advantage, yet they give up the big play right there.
Yeah, their offense was already warming up on the sideline, ready to come out. So much for that 3-and-out. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. Luke Kuechly, the all-pro linebacker, in on the stop.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Breeze. And it's hauled in by Jared Cook. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 19 yards the pick up there. Move the chains.
Jared Cook is a guy who's been around the NFL. He's been with the Titans, the Rams, the Packers. In the last 2 years in Oakland, now he makes a move to the Big Easy, where he pairs with Drew Brees and forms a nice little threat.
And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Breeze. Rashard Matthews here on the catch. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 9 yards the pick up there, and it's a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
On the ground, this is Kamara. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So now then, the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. Following the penalty, it's Kamara. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, You can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish, holding that to a minimal gain?
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? To throw is Breeze. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
13 games going on here in this final Sunday of 2019, the final Sunday of the regular season. 3 more games still to come following us. Raiders, Broncos, Cards, Rams, and Niners, Seahawks. And then we'll know the 12 teams who will continue on into the playoffs starting next Saturday here on EA Sports. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Let's bring it.
Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And he will make his way back to where he started from, and that's all, as we will make our way to the 2-minute warning.
Yeah, baby. Boom.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier, but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Out comes the Saints offensive unit and the NFC playoff race. Let's have a look at it. And as things start to come into focus here in the final weekend, their future still up in the air. Currently in possession of the 5 spot, but could fall entirely out of the postseason if this final day doesn't go their way.
Well, we're looking forward to the playoffs because, fortunately enough, we're going to be there to call some of these games. But when you're sitting where they are right now, the playoffs start with this game. They can't wait till next week and say, well, let's see if we're... No, they have to win this one to ensure that they're going to go. So their playoff run actually begins a week early.
By the way, I got my assignment for the playoffs. Let's have me doing every game.
I like that.
Are you there, too?
I like that. I just hope I'm with you.
I hope so as well. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Breeze on the draw, gives to Kamara, and he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Now, after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back.
Yellow lady. Right there. 50. Take me out. Here we go. Mike spot 4. Mike spot 4. Mike spot 3.
Breeze now on 1st down. He's got a 1st down and more inside the 30. And finally taken down at the 30-yard line. That's a gain of 14. From the gun, it's Breeze. It's complete. It's Sproles.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Ready. 5-9. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Here we go, G. Here I come.
To throw again on second down. Breeze looking for Gannon. It's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
They start on the ground with McCaffrey, and that won't buy him much room. Just a 1-yard gain to the 5.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll send you down the coast now to... There you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Being chased out left. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
A gain of 6 yards. And it's third down.
Ready.
The Panthers turn to their nickel set here as they get ready for third down.
Here we go.
Working from the gun, it's Breeze. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A nice pickup of 17 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Breeze now. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Now they'll have it 1st and goal following that gain of 17.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there, and if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle, keep coming after them, put the pressure on them.
Now third down is looming, a pickup of 2 on first down and just 1 yard there.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Bree's going to throw. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Rashard Matthews, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Lutz with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This fielded at the 2. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half. Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
This is Newton off the play fake to McCaffrey. Looking for the tight end, Olsen, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Flushed out right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but if they make them out of bounds, that does you no good.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Here's Breeze to throw. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And he'll get it down here to the 43.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed, but all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
To throw, it's Breeze. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. He's brought down after a pickup of 5, but he needed 8. 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. And Ginn's got it. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Fourth down, no problem. Just a ho-hum pickup of 14 to keep the offense on the field. Felt compelled to go for it there on fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a fourth down call. Doesn't matter the distance. Stop to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line.
This is where coaches have to have spent a lot of time going over situations with their players, because him getting tackled there is not the worst thing in the world. You're going to run more plays, right? Clock's going to go. But his thought process is getting into the end zone. It's counterintuitive for him to actually go down in this spot.
Yeah, but like you say, you don't want to get in the end zone too early here.
No, not at all, because you may leave an opening that could come back and get you.
The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Ready, drive 9. 54. All day, just like that. Just like that.
On second and goal, Breeze, and he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Alvin Kamara with his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Saints add on to their lead. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Lutz good on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Carolina offense making their way out. We take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. As of this moment, as pretty much everyone knows, they sit alone in that top spot, but nothing is guaranteed. They haven't even clinched the playoffs. So a good start, but a long way to go.
And you know, a blunt veteran inside their locker room has stood up at one point or another and said, you know all this means nothing so far. We've got to cover this, get it done. What do we want to be? It's like winning a title in August, right, in preseason. Doesn't count. Let's go ahead and get this thing done.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Now a first down throw for Newton. Got a man right side, it's McCaffrey. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Throwing again on second down. Newton, it's caught on the right side at Smith. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Newton. And they get to Newton and take him down for the sack. Cameron Jordan in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him, and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Now Newton. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Here we go on fourth. Newton looking for the end zone. And that'll be caught. Touchdown Panthers. Olsen. Greg Olsen. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Panthers, they're able to draw a bit closer.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed. But if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
We got this.
They're all through now, by the way, in the Meadowlands. And the Giants, they wind up winning that one. Eli Manning, a touchdown pass to help lead the way. Michael Thomas now heading back onto the field. And he is closing in on the 100-yard mark for the day.
And it appears that he loved the fact that they're going to play this game earlier. You know, daytime, he's out there running around, feeling good about himself. Whatever his prep was coming in, he was able to get out there quick and fire away.
They go play action here on first down. Looking long for Thomas. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. And that'll bring up second down.
Yellow lady. Watch the slant. Switch.
Breeze to throw. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
He's going to air this thing out deep for 10. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kevon Seymour. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. 2-score game here in the fourth, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
A boost here to start the drive after the penalty. It's 1st and 5. Throwing is Newton. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. Greg Olsen was the intended target. That'll bring up second down. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
And he can't get away. Newton can't escape the pressure, and it's a safety. So that a double whammy. Not only do you have to give away the football, but the 2 points mean this is now a 2-score game.
And 2 doesn't seem like much, does it? But it means everything in this situation because now they're going to have to look back, and ultimately that might be the play that ends up deciding this game.
Now the free kick comes after the safety from the 20 as they bring the punter on to try and get some hang time here. Fielded at the 20.
Yellow lady. 59. What we got?
So after the INT, it's Breeze. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And it's incomplete. Still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. So this one, a victory here for New Orleans. And I know I'm not breaking any news when I say that any road win in this league is a good one.
No doubt.
But it's a double bonus when you get a victory on the road in your division.
And when you start a season, each team breaks down their schedule in different ways. Some do it every 4 games, right? Let's go quarterly. Others say, listen, we've got to take care of our home field. And, out of a 16-game season, if you get 8 at home, let's at least win 7 at home and split our road games. That's what you're trying to get done. So you're exactly right. A road win, precious, especially within the division.
So for the Saints, it's an 11th win of the year as they'll finish the regular season at 11-5. And now they'll await the final seeding for the playoffs ahead. Meanwhile, for the Panthers, this was basically just an exhibition game for them as they'd already clinched home field advantage. And the playoffs will run through their house as they'll get the week off and get set to host a divisional round game in 2 weeks' time. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gautin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.